What is going on? Welcome to another Prosperity Tips episode. This is number 34, and I'm just going to be doing a quarterly update for the three funds that I've been investing in, and it's my passive income experiment. Okay, so 3 months ago, and I'll put a link to the playlist in the description below, or the comments, or wherever you're watching this at, here and just after I'm done. But the idea was I was going to just do an experiment. You know how everybody says, "Hey, you should invest in this, or you should invest in that, or you should do this or that." And I was just looking at everything, and I was like, "Okay, real estate, that makes sense." But there was nothing that was passive about real estate. I had to actually do the work to do real estate. So I was looking for a real estate fund. So I found one that was more of a passive type thing. Then people tell you to save all the time, right? So I found some high yield savings accounts, so I decided to do that one. And then everybody's like, "Hey, you should do dividends," right? Stock dividends, and that was passive. Now, one thing I did not do in this experiment is those scammy Bitcoin 1% a day things. Okay. So I stayed away from that. I stayed away from Forex. I stayed away from all of those things in this particular experiment. Honestly, if you guys do that kind of stuff, good on you. I just know that I've lost thousands upon thousands of dollars in those. So when I think about those, I don't think about passive income. I think about passive losses. Okay. So I don't stick my toe into those anymore. And if I do, I'm not going to tell anyone about it because it's definitely dangerous territory. So this video is going to be the three fund passive income portfolio that I set up 3 months ago. And here's what I ended up doing. I put $56 a week into each one, and then just letting however it plays out. So I'm not going to tell you which one I think is the best. I'm just going to show you which one's performing the best for the rest of time. Okay, so I actually just plan on doing this infinitely just for fun. So it's just an experiment that I'm personally doing. I'm risking $56 a week into each one of the three, which turns out to be like $672 a month that I'm just throwing at this for an experiment. So let's get right into it. I don't want to keep you too long, but if you're on here live with me, feel free to drop a comment. Feel free to give me your thoughts on what you think would be the best one long term, and I'd love to have your feedback. But let me just see who's on with us, and I'll do questions at the end if you have any. All right. So Nick says, "Good morning, good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Monty, and good morning, Bill Fever." Okay, cool. So let's get right into it. I don't want to keep you guys too late. I'm just going to refresh my pages so that they don't time out because that usually ends up happening when you're dealing with banks. So just refresh them right now. And so the first one, let's look at which ones are winning. So I'm going to look at the stock portfolio that I picked, and so we will go, and keep in mind too, I may have just picked a really crappy stock portfolio. Who knows? Whatever. I just decided to just do it based on some research that I went through. And you can see my portfolio below. I'll have a link to it if you want to look at it. But I'm not going to go into what they are. I'm just going to show you the screen. Okay. So here we go. So the first one is uh, 3,100 or 3,001, and it shows that my gain is minus 95 and my return is minus 3% so far. So again, I've just been putting $56 a week into it, and then also there's 17 over here, so you can add that to it. But so basically it's $3,019. So that's where it was. Now, in my last video, I'd have to pull up the last video to where it was. I actually should have got the original balances, but I don't have it. So I'm just going to show you guys where it's at so far. So again, 3 months ago, I started with a certain amount, and then I started putting 56 a week into it on all three of them. So that's where the stock market is at so far. Let's go look at real estate. So real estate is doing a little bit better. Okay. Now these net returns, I don't really know because this I've actually had this account for a while. So this one I think was based on the original amount that I had in there. But since October, it's now at 31.55. So it's actually $100 more than the stock market. So far, real estate is winning, right? And now here's where I think is the funniest thing ever. The Sophie savings account is at 32.40. Okay. So are you kidding me, right? I'm literally making more money from my savings account than I am real estate and stocks so far. Now keep in mind this is only 3 months so far. I plan on doing a quarterly update, of course, to see where this goes long term. I just think it's funny to think about because everybody always says savers are losers, yet the real estate is the loser and the stock market is the loser. So far, savers are winners, okay, in this experiment. Maybe in a year from now, maybe this will be completely overturned and one of these other ones will take over, which could happen, of course. I don't know. And then that's why this is an experiment. But what I love about this experiment is I'm literally just doing the same. I basically, what I did was I put them all at the same balance 3 months ago. And then I just been putting $56 a week into each one. So there's no other variable into these other than interest. So as you can see, in September 30, I got $11 in interest, right? And then I got another 9 last month. I got $9 in interest last month. And then the month before that, I got let's see, June. Well, because that's when I started it, so it didn't do anything there. So yeah, so I've just been getting a little bit of interest every month into this, and that has beat out real estate so far and the stock market. Okay. Again, I don't know what this is going to do long term, but I just thought that was pretty dang funny, right? Just because I've always heard like savers are losers, savers are losers. Well, not this year, right? So so far that's where it's at. Now keep in mind, I will have all the resources below the high yield savings account that I'm using. It's Sophie is the one that I'm using. It has a 4.5% APY, and you can set it up for free. So I'll put a link below. I believe the link is actually just if you want to get that savings account, you can go to seekprosperity.com and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. If you guys want any of these resources, let me just show you. Here we go. You go to seekprosperity.com, you can scroll down. There's a spot that says my passive income. So the first one is my debt freedom plan. Definitely you want to be out of debt. Then I have the high yield savings account right there. And then I have the dividend fund that I'm doing, and then the real estate fund that I'm doing. So you can just go check those out under passive income. And just another couple thoughts before I end it. Keep in mind that this is real passive income. It's not fake. Okay. I don't want to do anything that's fake anymore. And so, yeah, maybe the returns are not that great. Maybe they will go really, really slow. I don't know. Maybe over the long haul, they'll beat out a lot of things. But what I do know is I'm not going to log in one day and see my entire account zeroed out, with these three types of things. So that's the one thing that I do know. So to me, that is truly a passive thing, right? Whereas any other investments that I do, it's going to require work, which I know and I'm okay with. Eventually I'm going to be getting into the real estate market where my wife and I were just discussing that. Like when we pay off this house, we're going to probably move and rent this one out, right? We're going to try to do that kind of strategy. So those are going to be some of the things that we do. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. This is a truly passive income thing. You're not going to log in one day and see $0 in your bank account. And that's the key. Unless the stock market crashes, I guess, but who knows? But real estate could crash too, I guess, but at least the savings account won't go to zero. So anyway, with that, that's all I have for my quarterly update. So let's go to your guys' comments. If you have any comments on any of these, feel free to drop a comment and I will pull it up on the screen. You got Dan, good morning. All right, thank you. All right. I actually would like to get a rental property again. Yeah, for sure. That's something that's on my bucket list. I think my first rental property will probably be the one that I'm in right now because my wife just really wants a new kitchen, and I don't want to spend $100,000 pushing out the wall. Like, I would almost rather get a new house and then rent this one because this one, our mortgage is so dang low compared to the area. We could probably make 2 grand a month, like residually, even with our mortgage. That's how low it is. So we could probably easily make 2 grand a month passive income profit, even on top of the mortgage we have, if we rented this one out. So that might be the better route. Just get a different house, rent this one, make 2 grand a month. So that might be the next option that I go for. But I don't know. We'll see. I think that's a better option than spending 100 grand on the moving the wall out. So anyway, current API or savings. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the savings that I have is 4.5%, Peter. So that's the one. The Sophie Bank is 4.5%. It's not 0.05. All right, get rich slow is the way to do investments. Exactly. You own a duplex, maybe time to move. Well, I mean, you could rent those out for sure. All right, rent is crazy. Yep. Yeah, I could probably get at least 2,800 or 3,000 a month for the house that I'm in right now where I'm living. So, it's an interesting market. So anyway, with that, I will go ahead and call this a wrap. Just want to do these quarterly updates. The next one will be in January, by the way. So again, every 3 months, my plan is to just update this experiment. And this is again, this is not going to be uh, based on my opinion. It's going to be based on numbers, pure numbers. So we're going to just see how it plays out over the time. So with that, make it a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.